Welcome everyone to the next video in our Asteroids MMO playlist. In the last video we sent the player information up to the server. The idea being that if everybody does that, then the server can then distribute that information back to each of the clients with everybody's information available to be used to display on the game. In this video I'm going to just do a little bit of tidy up. We just need to tidy up some of the data, how the data is managed before we do the actual downloading of the data, of the player data. And you'll see why as we go through. There's a few things, as I've been messing around with this, I've just found a few things that I need to tidy up. So we're just going to do a brief change of some of the things on here. So for example, I had to look this up because I noticed that when I was creating usernames, very occasionally the username had a space in the name, and it's probably not going to cause a problem, but I just liked it to be a bit cleaner and not have those spaces in. So where the server creates the player here, so what I want to do is just wrap that into a replace. So if I grab that, I think there, I think I can just put that on the end there like that. So I'm grabbing anything with one or more spaces globally in the string and then just replacing it with a nothing. So I think that should solve that issue out. Okay, so that's the first issue. The number of other issues which are going to crop up as we go forward, one of them is to do with how we identify who we are when the list of users is sent back to us, because we can either not, well, every user is going to get the same batch of users, which will include the user who it is, but obviously for each user, for each player, that's different. So do we get the server to isolate out the individual player who's calling, or do we get the player to do it? I kind of think we should get the player to do it and not let the server worry about who's getting that information. So that's going to require a little bit of work as well. What else we need to do is where we've put specific data in, like here, well, this kind of needs to be like a global data object that can have more than one thing in it. So we're going to have that as asteroids data, but we also need players data as well. And I think there's another reference to that here. So let's put another one in there. Now then, what's players data? Well, basically it's the players hash. So if we say const players data equals players hash, which is fine, but you kind of think, well, why have we substituted it out to another variable? Why not just put players hash directly in there? Well, number one, I wanted to change the name of it, so you had asteroids data and players data. And number two, actually this isn't going to work because the players hash actually stores the, where is the player stored? There. So when we create the player, we create it with the new token. The token is what identifies the player to the server, which means it authenticates the player. Now, if we then pass that down to every player, that means every player is going to see the token for each player. So the authentication is effectively ruined. So what we need to do is do something with this players hash before we send it down to the players. And the easiest thing we can do is just run it inside object values, because it'll keep the value of the information the same, but it will remove the key, and the key, as we've seen here, is the token. So it will remove the key and just put it to like a zero-based index so that everything else gets passed down to the player data. So let's copy this and let's put that here. Here we go. So that takes care of our player data. Now, is there anything else we need to tidy up? Let's just get rid of some of these unwanted bits of code here. So that. Anything else we need to get rid of? I think everything else looks okay. Okay, I think that's fine. So, yeah, I think that's fine, isn't it? Okay. So now we're sending the data down to the client. Now we can check this because if we go to the client, that will be sent to here. So we kind of need to just refactor this a little bit as well. So server data, rather than it just being rocks, we now have, we're going to call it data, and then in the actual method, data, and now we know that it's asteroids data and players data, so we can unpack those. Let asteroids data players data equals data. All right, that's good. But then we need to kind of just change the, if we copy that, and then we need to just grab every instance of this. So is that the last one? Yeah. And then we can just paste in asteroids data into that. Okay, so that's fine. That fixes that side of things. And then let's just check there's no errors here. Yeah, it still works fine. And nothing issue with the server. Cool. But now we have this players data. And this is what I'm going to leave to the next video because I think I just need to kind of get my head around how this is going to work. But I think I'm happy with everything else. Let's just tidy up some of this other stuff on the client as well. So we can get rid of that. That's on the server, isn't it? Function setup. We load, that's on the server, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Come back to that in a sec. So quite happy to leave that console log there. It just kind of helps me with the initial setup. Server params, players data will come back to. We soccer players list. Where is that sent from the server? So that's soccer players list. Soccer players list. Players list. Ah, do I send that already? No. Okay. So that seems to be potentially a method that I was going to implement maybe. But I'm going to get rid of it. And everything else looks like it's still okay. Just to tidy up, we can do the noise because at the minute, depending on which browser you're on, well, it doesn't really matter which browser, but if let me restart the server. So although the asteroids are in the same position, the shapes are very much different. You can see the shapes are different. So let's standardize that. Let's go into the server. So when we create the asteroid, there we go. So we need to create the noise. Now I believe, where will that be? Get rid of that. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, so again, it's in the show method, but we kind of need to determine that outside the show method. Also, there are some so yeah. Oh no, this is fine. We just need to populate the It's this one, isn't it? We just need to do this. That's okay. So let's go into the server asteroid. Okay, so when we initialize it, we already do it. So, this dot point O plus plus, this offset not equal match random. So this offset, is offset already set? I just need to bring it down. Let's have a look at the asteroids in the client then. So sketch, let's see, where will that be? That'll be down here somewhere, won't it? So asteroids data. So if we console log asteroids data, let's just see what's coming down here. No, there's no noise, so I'm not passing the noise down. I'm not passing the noise down from the server, am I? So let's have a look at the server. Yeah, there's no noise going down. So can I where does asteroids data get done? We build that twice, don't we? I kind of need to think we need to abstract that out. So let's do this for now. So it will be, what will it be? Points, noise, offset, right. So offset equals asteroids a dot offset. Let's just copy that down to the bottom. Okay, let's see if that gets put to the client. Offset, there we go. So there's our array of 10 points, so that's good. So now we can go to the client, and when we get the asteroid data, well, let's get rid of that. When we get the asteroid data now, we can now say, so we've changed the position. No, we only need to do that the first time. Do we have to load the asteroid? Oh yeah, because they'll move and they'll get shot and everything. So we need to say asteroids dot offset equals asteroids a offset. Okay, I think that'll do. So now, if on the client side we don't need to generate that now, so we can save. And we have no noise. But anyway, we've got our asteroids. Are they the same shape? Well, they look the same shape to me. So that's excellent. We've managed to synchronize the shape of our asteroids. Right, I think that's all the tidying up I wanted to do. So what I'm going to do now is end this video. In the next one, we're going to now look at the actual rendering of the users on the client side, and I'm going to try and work out the best and most efficient way to do that from a processing point of view, so that we get the best experience for the player. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more like this. Until the next video, I'll see you later.